Would it help you to become a more positive person if you were able to recognize the traits of positive people? Stay tuned. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli Stadler with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and most importantly, we inspire. And we're continuing. We were reading an article last time by a lady named Kirsty Taylor, 12 Habits of Naturally Positive People, that I thought was a great article. Once again, as a mentor, it's not always your responsibility to come up with new stuff. It's your responsibility to share things in addition to new stuff, but to share some things to help people to move forward. That's our intention today. So I'm not claiming that this is my great brainchild. What I am claiming is I think this is great. I want to pass it along. I think it's something that's going to help you make a profit for yourself as a person. All right, we're talking about 12 things that make a person positive. Positive people are solution-oriented. When a problem arises, negative people dwell in the crappy feelings of uncertainty or failure. On the other hand, positive people learn from their mistakes and quickly look for solutions. And it's their positive thinking that helps them be the latter instead of the former. The mere mindset a person has around a problem can make all the difference. If they're optimistic, a solution will be found. And if they're optimistic that a solution can be found, most likely it will be found. Not only that, but being solution-oriented improves a person's mental health. Since dwelling in negative emotions doesn't do anyone any good, positive people would rather use that energy to problem fix. They read books, seek advice, and learn what they need to in order to come up with a solution. Positive people are resilient rather than crumbling under adversity. Positive people don't complain. Eckhart Tolle tells us, and I quote, "When you complain, you make yourself a victim. Leave the situation, change the situation, or accept it. All else is madness." Complaining is plaguing modern society, yet most people don't even realize they're doing it. In my daily conversations, I found people default to complaining when talking about their life or they're unsure of what to say. Think about it. Why is the crappy weather people's go-to subject? Because commiserating has become a comfortable new norm. But complaining increases your bad stress hormone levels. Increased stress leads to a whole slew of negative effects like anxiety, headaches, heart disease, and sleep issues. On the other hand, gratitude, that's complaining's nemesis, has been shown to have opposite effects on a person. Finding reasons to be grateful for a situation or life in general helps people feel less anxious, sleep better, and improves their physical health. The difference between positive people and those who complain aren't the situations they find themselves in, it's their outlook. People who complain create suffering for themselves, while positive people accept that misfortunes and bad weather is just a part of life. Positive people are kind to others with no ulterior motive. A famous Chinese proverb says, and I quote, "If you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. If you want happiness for a lifetime, help somebody." Unquote. Naturally positive people are kind to others without wondering what's in it for them. They value their happiness and see no point in being mean to people, even strangers. Positive people are the types who don't network in the typical sense. Their connections are people they genuinely enjoy being around. They'll go out of their way to introduce you to someone they know or hold the door open for the woman walking in behind them. They value connection and intimacy rather than boosting their ego and guarding themselves. Helping others keep them in a state of making happiness rather than having happiness is an essential practice for the naturally positive person. They know that their happiness isn't an end journey achieved by using the people in their life. Instead, positive people create happiness in their life by making others happy. Positive people don't judge themselves. Every single person has what's called an inner voice. For positive people, that voice simply observes. But most people's inner voice is critical of who they are. When your inner voice calls you stupid for spilling your coffee or tells you you're fat every time you see your reflection, that's bound to keep you in a negative mood. But your inner voice doesn't have to be critical. You can change that voice to a positive one. Research shows that self-acceptance leads to a happier life, yet most people aren't practicing it. When you've been raised in a critical environment or been through traumatic experiences, self-criticism may come more naturally to you. But naturally positive people have learned how to accept themselves, flaws and all. They don't dwell on what they lack, but rather focus on their strengths. Positive people celebrate others' wins. It's not enough to celebrate their own wins. Positive people also celebrate others' wins. They love to share joyful moments with the people closest to them or even people they barely know. While envy is a natural human instinct people have for social comparison and a driving factor to survive, it does more harm nowadays than good. Envy ends up creating animosity towards others when they're successful and leaves the person feeling like they lack in their own life. They're the person going out for cocktails when their coworkers get a promotion or asking the waiters to bring you a slice of cake the day you close on your new house. They're the one singing happy birthday at a restaurant to the strangers at the table at the next table. Positive people love happiness, even if it's not because of their own accomplishments. Positive people are able to say no. Saying no does not always show a lack of generosity, and that saying yes is not always a virtue. That's a quote from Paul Coelho. Being positive isn't about always saying yes and being perpetually happy. In fact, maintaining happiness is about learning to say no to things that would otherwise drain your energy or impact you negatively. Saying no is what psychologists refer to as boundaries. Boundaries are limits people set for others in their lives. They can be small, like letting someone know, hey, you can't talk after 9 p.m. because you need to get to sleep. Boundaries can also be bigger, like telling a friend they can't disrespect you even if they're doing a joke. Positive people love boundaries because they help maintain positivity. Saying no to a colleague's party invitation could mean the difference between recharging your batteries for work the next day or feeling off their game because they're hungover. Naturally positive people can balance declining opportunities without hurting people's feelings. They know that if something isn't right for them, it shouldn't be forced. In the long run, it won't help them or the other person. Positive people don't hold grudges. A grudge has a lonely population of one. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick, said Angela Budimer, a licensed psychotherapist. Grudges quite literally wreak havoc on our bodies. Being in a constant state of tension keeps our bodies from being able to repair themselves. It increases bad hormone levels and creates inflammation. There's no benefit to staying mad or upset with someone, emotionally or physically. Rather than live in a state of tension, positive people focus on coming to peace with situations that they don't have control over. Quote from Cindy Spiegel: "Forgiveness doesn't mean that you consent to what occurred, only that you've consciously decided to let go in an effort to move forward with a sense of peace." While they don't keep people in their lives who intentionally hurt them or forget the way someone wronged them, positive people choose forgiveness. They set aside their ego, choose their overall happiness, and let go of being bitter. What positivity boils down to is this: think positively about the people in your life and the adversities you face, and you'll be a whole lot happier. Don't, and you'll constantly feel like a victim and at the mercy of life's whims. And now that you know the habits of naturally positive people, the choice of what to do next is yours. Once again, huge shout out to Kirsty Taylor for this tremendously good article. I found it very positive. I hope that you did as well. And because we're never going to end a meeting on a philosophical note, let's all get out there and charge! I'm Eli's dad.